In the canopy high where the tall trees sway lives a frog who glides in a daring display. With webbed fingers spread like wings in the breeze, he leaps from the branches with elegant ease. The wind is his friend as he soars through the air, a parachute prince with a confident flair. From treetop to treetop he gracefully hops, avoiding the danger of predator drops. A leap and a glide in the jungle so wide, the parachuting frog is nature's own pride.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's 30 minutes of interesting animal information.
It's your 30 minutes.
It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons, to Jesse Raspolich, Carol Raspolich, Richard Caspar, Lottie and Aubrey, Gray Hughes, and Wednesday Rabbit. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on.
And today we're talking about a frog that could have dropped into Normandy, but more on that later.
Oh, I've got a couple references to that.
Good.
Yeah, what are we? What's the name of the frog?
Talking about the parachuting frog, or the no, I won't say or the. I'll let you.
Yeah, it's also known as the pale-eyed parachuting frog, which just sounds like a demon ghost on the other side of the ice wall in Game of Thrones or something like that. It's like, oh, that's where the pale-eyed parachuting frogs live. Or it sounds like something that would attack the main character from Princess Bride. There's the rodents of unusual size, and then there are the pale-eyed parachuting frogs. Gotta look out for those.
Right before you drop into Normandy, I'm a pale-eyed parachuting frog.
Purple eater. One-eyed, one-horned, pale-eyed parachuting frog purple eater. We're going to call it here the Frog or Not, the Ribbit Rocket, and the Screamin' Eagle. There's a Normandy reference for you. Yeah. Why don't you let's do we have some taxonomy to sprinkle in?
We sure
here?
do. They're in the kingdom you know, love, and are in the kingdom Animalia. They're in the phylum Chordata. The class is Amphibia. The order Anura. We've been here before many times because there's many interesting frogs. The family is Hylidae. Like Link. The genus is, where we diverge, Nyctimistes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nyctimistes?
Yeah. I'd say that. Nyctimistes.
And the species is Pterodactyla. Nyctimistes pterodactyla.
Pterodactyla.
Yeah, Pterodactyla.
Yeah, so since we're in the business of naming things, it's time for my favorite part of the show, a nitty-gritty nomenclature. We're not doing critter groups because while there are lots of interesting frogs, there are not a lot of interesting names for groups of frogs. There's only one. It's an army, which is appropriate considering that airborne troopers are in the army.
Mm-hmm.
And they're parachuting, so it's it all works together, just like the airborne divisions. So nitty gritty nomenclature. This is part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that is, what is the English translation for the nomenclature, the binomial nomenclature, which we have established is Nyctimistes pterodactyla? What does that mean? Does it mean A, mysterious ancient wing, B. Wing-fingered night mist. C. Sweet sap flying rock. Or D. Invisible nectar boulder hands. Nyctimistes pterodactyla. I'll say them again. Mysterious ancient wing. Wing-fingered night mist. Sweet sap flying rock. Or invisible nectar boulder hands.
C. Sweet sapped.
Sweet sap flying rock.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
All right, that is incorrect.
Is it the third one?
That was the third one.
Or
You
the
said
fourth
C,
one?
right? No, it is the second one. Wing-fingered night mist. Dactyla is finger. Like Artiodactyla.
Yeah.
Dactyl means like finger. And then ptero is the prefix for wing. And then nicti, it's night. And then mist is mist. I put a flying rock in there because Aerodactyl, the Pokemon, is a flying rock type.
Oh, I thought flying rock because pterodactyl. I thought pterodactyl was like flying, and then ptera rock.
Or like a Petros kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that worked.
Anyway.
Yep, wing-fingered night mist. I don't know why night mist. I didn't get a lot of mist vibes from this frog. Wing-fingered makes sense, and nighttime makes sense. So I'll give him that.
Well, would you like to know what it looks like?
Sure.
They have large eyes, which are often striking in appearance. If I didn't realize this, but I'm reading their lower eyelid is marked with patterns of lines and veins and dots, which help with camouflage. I don't know what that means. But if you look at like a couple pictures of these guys, I think is what I thought was like iris, like their big bright colored iris that these guys have, that frogs often have. Like if you look up like green tree frog, rainforest tree frogs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that eyelid that's just a different color? Because I'm seeing some pictures where it looks like it's a very prominent.
Oh, rather than like a pupil?
Yeah. Is the colored part a different colored lid?
Yeah, I think that's its eyelid.
Whoa.
Like
I thought it was just like a...
Yeah, it's not like...
iris.
No, that's their... Because they can close it.
Yeah.
You can see pictures of them with it closed.
I just assumed that was like...
Them closing, constricting their pupil.
Yeah.
Like a chameleon.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Oh.
Interesting.
Unless I am gravely mistaken, that is their eyelid.
Interesting. Somebody tell us. Coloration. Their dorsal surfaces, their back, often varies in color, which depends on their environment. The environment of the species that's in there. I don't think they necessarily change color. For example, one of the members of the genus white-lipped tree frog can be bright green or bright brown bright green or brown, depending on
bright brown. What is that? Never heard that before.
Depending on the temperature. The temperature, yeah. So yeah, they have. I'm gonna leave that for later. Talk about something else, but they look kind of like the classic tree frog. with a green, yellow like highlights, white bellies or pink bellies, or like pale colored bellies, and then they get the classic green on the back. And I'm looking at some pictures, and the first image on Google is not the animal. It's like a line art drawing of just a frog with a parachute and a
yeah, that one keeps showing up. There is more than one clip art image of parachuting frogs.
Why?
Like frogs that have deployed human parachutes.
Yeah.
And this one has a spanky like propeller hat. Like a little rascal's propeller hat. And a Gryffindor scarf.
And he's just holding the parachute. This one's crazy. He's got a lot of confidence in his grip.
He's a frog. He's good at gripping things. There's also a toy that has a frog attached to a parachute. Like a little mobile? What do you call the thing? How do you pronounce the thing that you put over babies' cribs? We haven't used one for our kids. The idea of dangling a toy above their face hasn't been
Mobile,
something that,
like Mobile, Alabama, I think.
Okay, or like credit mobile.
That's no Credit Mobilier.
If you type in parachuting frogs, you're gonna get some pictures of the frog that we're talking about, but a lot of pictures of frogs holding parachutes.
Let's talk about their relative size. Welcome to the Love Measure Up segment, the official listener favorite part of the show. The part of the show when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. It's also part of the show that's introduced by you when you send in audio of yourself saying, singing, or chittering the words measure up into ldtaxonomy@gmail.com. We do have a new measure up intro this week, remember? We have our second one.
Nice. That last one with Alvin and the Chipmunks. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's from Chanel. Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show. Oh, wait. That's the Chipmunks again. Without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
We're going live in 3, 2, 1. Hello, folks, and welcome to the listener's favorite part of the show. Until further notice and it changes and becomes critter groups, measure up.
Just betrayal.
We have an advocate. The resistance is alive and well.
The resistance?
Yes, to the oppression of Measure Up.
The insurgency.
It doesn't matter.
The rebels.
The rebels are always the good guys. We know this.
Not what? Oh, what about in the Civil War?
I'm talking about in fiction. In fiction, the rebels are always the good guys. There's no moral ambiguity to rebellions against the status quo. The status quo is bad. Rebellion is good. That's all we know. So let's do this. Let's overthrow the critter the Measure Up hierarchy. No, that doesn't work.
This is the Law and Order segment. Despite the
thank you, Chanel.
betrayal, thank you, Chanel.
That's awesome.
We appreciate the 2 measure ups. We've just riches and riches in Measure Up.
I liked the like astronaut to Houston vibe we got from that.
That's
like,
true. It's easy to overlook that when you're being stabbed in the back.
when you're being harassed. when there's an active coup going on, coup d'etat.
Exactly. But it was good. It was good.
It's hard to appreciate style points when there's a coup d'etat.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Let's talk their length. Parachuting frogs are 4 inches long, I think. I couldn't really find. I had to look up like the genus, the general size of the genus.
Yeah, there isn't a lot of information on this particular species. There are a
Well,
lot
it's
of
a frog,
frogs
so
that
it's probably like discovered yesterday.
yeah. This one just has very prominent
It
abilities.
was discovered in 2019.
So we basically know nothing about it.
Yeah. The parachuting frog is the same length as a 1/19th a male domestic pig. B, 4 pennies. C, 59 staples thickness wise. Like, you know how they come in the packs?
Uh-huh.
Like, are 59 of those with the length of that, like, horseshoe shaped open tube.
Yeah.
Be
that's pretty good.
59 staples long and 4 inches.
Well, how many pennies?
4?
4 penny like diameters?
Yes.
That one. Wait. Yes, that one. No. Yes, the pennies. I'm just holding
Final answer?
I'm just holding my finger out and imagining I have just 4 pennies just delicately balanced with, not balanced, but like using the pressure of my fingers to hold them end to end together.
Do you have a penny with you?
I do not have a penny with me because it is 2024. I haven't seen a penny in 6 years.
The correct answer is A, a 1/19th a male domestic pig. Pennies are 0.7 inches, so like not quite an inch. Like actually almost.
Maybe quarters would be better, or like a
quarters.
nickel. A nickel might fit better.
$1 is a frog.
I do have a $50 somewhere around here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm not going to buy anything with it.
Love it. Keep it. Let's talk about the number of species in the genus, since we don't know any of the metrics. 26 species are in this genus. So that's the same amount as A, 1/3 the amount of box turtle species. B, 4.3 times the amount of eggs in a pound cake. Or C, 1/4 the amount of calories in a banana.
How many times the eggs in the pound cake?
4.3 times.
6 eggs in a pound cake. I think there's more butter than eggs in a pound cake. I'm gonna ignore that one. What was the banana one?
1/4 the amount of calories in a banana.
That one. Final answer. Exactly. Final answer.
What do you mean?
There's 104 calories in a banana. 26 times 4 is 104.
The correct answer is 4.3 times the amount of eggs in a pound cake.
There is 104 calories in your average banana. Look it up.
Oh, I saw that. I looked it up, and it was like in the 70s.
What? That's not what I was operating on for the last 3 months of my calorie counting diet.
I thought, you would definitely know that one because you were counting calories.
Yeah, every single time I ate a full banana, I put 105 because I was being conservative.
Yeah, you're right. It does say 105. So, okay, we'll give you that one.
Both are the right answer. Actually, if it's 105, then technically I was wrong.
A pound cake is a pound of each of the 4 main ingredients.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Literally a pound of eggs, which is like 6 to 8 eggs.
So a pound cake weighs 4 pounds.
Weighs 4 pounds wet. I'm not sure if it subtracts from that when you cook it.
Yeah, something must be
when you cook
like
that cake
baked away. You could kill someone just by throwing the cake at them.
If you eat a whole pound cake, do you just become a fat?
Or I mean, you have to work out to get the cake to your mouth. You've just lifted 4 pounds probably several times. I mean, if you're eating it like a pagan and just like picking up the pound cake and just stuffing it in your mouth, not even cutting it into slices.
If you worship the creation and not the creator.
If your God is your belly, and you're eating a pound cake by picking it up, the whole thing up, and taking bites out of it, then yes, you will have worked out a little bit while eating. I love pound cake. So, especially the Entenmann's pre-packaged pound cake. I don't know. I haven't had like a super fresh one in a long time. But that stuff is such an easy recipe. Delicious.
Flour, eggs,
and a pound of each. A pound of flour. That's a lot of flour. That's a lot of. I like the idea that somebody just didn't want to really think about fine-tuning a recipe, and they just dumped a pound of everything in there, and it turned out magnificently.
Hey, this went better than expected. A pound of flour? Of sugar?
Flour, sugar, butter, and eggs, right? Those are the 4 things.
Wait.
Should that just kill you?
Wait. Oh, there's
a pound of baking soda. that will kill you.
It's not a pound of every ingredient. Just the 4 main ingredients.
Yeah.
You can look up a recipe though, and it's like, I guess technically not a true. What? 2 cups of butter, 3 cups of sugar, 6 egg yolks, 6 whole eggs and 6 egg yolks.
That can't be right.
And then a tablespoon of vanilla extract, some salt, 3 cups of flour. That's so much egg.
It works though. It tastes so good.
It's a lot of protein.
Maybe it needs even more egg. I don't know. Probably more butter. Anyway, we've been talking about pound cakes for a while.
Let's talk about fast facts instead. Let's talk about their unique eyelids again. One of the most distinctive features of Nyctimistes frogs is their lower eyelids, which have lines and veins and dots. What does that mean, veins and dots? Show me one of their eyelids up close. And how does it help them camouflage? What are these facts? They're primarily found in Papua New Guinea and some nearby islands. Man, what a treasure trove of frogs those islands have.
That's true. That tropical and the Amazon.
Yeah, rainforests. They enjoy tropical rainforests and subtropical montane rainforests. They're lousy with them, with frogs.
Yeah, for some reason the taiga forest, no frogs. Maybe it's because it's in Siberia.
Yeah. Yeah. What is it about frogs that they're like, hey, I'm gonna go like a quarter mile away and just adapt into a new species.
The air is 3.7% more humid here, so we're gonna be red.
Yeah. And we're gonna like have Wolverine claws. Thank you very much.
We're going to harden into pebbles or do what these guys do.
Yeah, they're also just like down to do anything. They're down for whatever, up for anything.
That's why they used frog DNA to make the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. It's just they're just down to do whatever.
Yeah, they're.
It's
like,
the down to do whatever gene.
Dinosaur.
And they were like, we needed. There's gaps in the DNA. Which animal is down to party? The frog.
Frogs. The eggs of a this frog, are large and are typically laid on submerged objects in fast-flowing creeks and streams. The tadpoles have large sucker mouths and streamlined bodies, which help them cling to rocks and navigate currents. So that's kind of interesting. Normally you think of like still water when it comes to like those gelatinous frog masses, frog eggs. But these guys make do with streams, fast-flowing creeks.
Yeah, and it seems like there would be a lot of still water to choose from in Papua New Guinea.
True.
Or in just any rainforest situation.
But that's all I got. Do you have any thick facts?
They're not very thick, but they're pretty major. This one I'm calling Rendezvous with Destiny, which is the motto for the 101st Airborne Division.
Nice.
Which was Dick Winter's division. Parachuting in Normandy. So the parachuting frog parachutes. I don't know if you gathered that from the description. So it has these highly webbed fingers, which is also in its name, Pterodactyla, wing fingered. A lot of frogs do have these webbed fingers, but the webs go all the way out to the tips of their fingers, and they can spread them out really far. And they act like small parachutes. They spread them out when they jump, and it just creates drag, which slows their descent and allows them to control their descent. Just increasing that surface area means that they're just not plummeting. They are falling with style. They can move their hands left and right, forward and backward, to steer, control their direction, land where they want to land, instead of just falling like a rock. And they can also change the angle to create even more air resistance so that they can decelerate just as like before they land to lessen the impact. They don't fly. It's a rudimentary glide. It's not even that great. It's not as great of a glide as even like a sugar glider or something like that. It's very much falling on purpose. Falling with intent. A purpose-driven fall. This is John Piper's follow-up book.
That sounds like John Piper, like it's like the evil version of John Piper,
or just his 7-point hyper Calvinistic views.
I think purpose-driven life is also like Rick Warren or something, though.
Is that not John Piper?
No,
I could have sworn that was John Piper. Okay, never mind.
Rick Warren.
Whatever.
Don't waste your life is John Piper.
Don't waste your life. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, so, yeah, like I said, it can change directions to avoid obstacles, and this helps it avoid predators. It can escape predators by just jumping and then going where it wants to go. And it's usually too fast once it does that to be caught by most predators, except for like a dogged bird. Not a dog bird, a persistent, tenacious bird. And it requires a lot less energy than doing something like climbing down. And there's a lot less risky than just falling or jumping straight down. So good things all around for that. And because it lives in the trees, and it lives in a place where there are a lot of trees, like rainforest, this is just the ideal way to move around. Just playing through the new Avatar video game, and I can tell you from personal experience, that jumping from tree to tree in a rainforest is the best way to get around, for sure. So just take it from an expert. This frog's got it right. So and also there's a lot of stuff that wants to kill you on the ground when you're a frog. There's snakes and rodents and bigger frogs, all kinds of stuff. So when you're in the trees, you pretty much only have to worry about, well, you still have to worry about snakes, but you pretty much only have to worry about birds. Because if once you jump off your tree and go to another tree, that snake is not a problem anymore. Except for that one snake that can also glide like this. So. But yeah, that's the parachuting frog. Or an army of parachuting frogs.
There you go.
Dropping down and kicking the Nazis out of Europe.
Out of Europe.
Well, out of the parts of Europe they're not supposed to be in. And that's all I got.
That's all I got.
All right. That was the parachuting frog. For you out there in Podcastia, spread your hands, or your wing hands. Take a leap of faith and rendezvous with destiny. Like the parachuting frog here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Life, Death, and Taxonomy is my favorite in the world podcast.
It's always great when we can work in some World War II.